I think people get tattooed because there's not a lot of real stuff left in the world. With tattooing, it's blood, it's pain, it's permanence. There's nothing else in the world like that.
Hey guys, this is a little prologue before my actual video today. I recorded this video on pain management a few days ago, and I had a lot of time to think about it since then. There's a few things that I left out that I want to hit upon. The proper video shot in the studio last Saturday will follow this little short prologue, okay? So the main thing I didn't talk about in the video was mindset. I talk about pain management, pain relief, how to deal with the pain, but I didn't talk about getting your head right. And so I think that's probably one of the most important things to think about is before you get to your session. This will make sense in the bigger context once you've watched the other video. Before you get to your session, having your head right. Before you commit to the tattoo, having your head right. You know, gritting your teeth and getting it done is part of it. How to manage that pain is what the video is about. But you need to still have to want to get it. You still need to have your head right. And you still need to be able to sit and take it when the times get rough, right? Which they will. No matter how well you deal with the pain or how well you manage the pain using various methods, it's still going to be shitty at times where you're going to want to quit. And that little voice in your head that's telling you, just cut the session short, just tap out. You don't feel well today. Oh, you worked too hard. Oh, you didn't get enough sleep. Oh, you're hungry. All those little voices that nag at you when they want to quit. You're going to hear those voices a lot. So having your head right, having your mindset right before your session, before you book in for the tattoo, especially for a big tattoo. If you're booking in for say a back piece, right? I mean, a lot of people don't understand. Back piece fucking hurts. Right, your back is a sensitive area. That's why, like in days of old, people get whipped on the back, this kind of thing, right? Slashes on the back with the cat of nine tails and hit on the buttocks with the bamboo rod in Singapore. Those areas hurt, right? So they hit you there for a reason. So you need to have your mind right. And I get a lot of guys that come in for their sessions that don't have their mind right. They're not prepared. They come in, they're like, oh, this is going to hurt. I haven't really thought about it. Before coming in. And you need to, before you go to your sessions, think about your tattoo. Imagine yourself, visualize yourself sitting on the bed, the process of me setting up or whoever your artist is, and getting prepared and visualizing yourself sitting and taking the pain and dealing with it. This is a big part of it. So the rest of the video is all about pain management and the different ways you can do that. So I won't spoil the show, but I just wanted to add that little bit, because I definitely left that out of the video, because I was more focusing when I made the video on ways to deal with the pain. But it's there's a lot to be said for going in it with the right headspace. And we all know we've had days where we get tattooed where we're tired or we're overworked and it hurts a little bit more. So it's good to keep that stuff in mind. The days you are feeling weak, take care of yourself a little bit before you go in. Have a quiet morning before your session. Pamper yourself a little bit, maybe take the day off the gym, or maybe work out extra hard if that works for you. Whatever it is that works for you, figure it out, right? But if your head's not in the game, no amount of pain relief is going to help you, right? So without further ado, I present to you the rest of the video on pain. Hey guys, another little video today. I'm going to talk about something that I spoke about in my hand pabori video last week. And that's pain, right? Pain is the number one question, the number one concern, and the thing that everybody always talks about when they talk about tattooing. How much does it hurt? How do you deal with the pain? That looks so painful, etc., etc. All right, so if you've got a tattoo, if you're interested in tattoos, if you make tattoos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So we're going to talk about pain today, pain management specifically, how to deal with the pain, how to get over the pain, how to live with the pain, how to cope with the pain, and yeah, so let's start there, right? So from a client's perspective, as someone who's gotten a bodysuit, I'll talk about the things that I did to manage the pain for myself. And as an artist, I'll also talk about the things that I do to manage the pain for my clients. So it's a big topic, a little bit of a longer video, but we'll get through it. And I think you guys will learn a lot from this and some strategies that you might not have thought of before, right? Because these are strategies that I came up with while I was getting tattooed, quite by accident. other interests that I had in my life that kind of overlapped with getting my tattoo done, and I found the benefits were immeasurable. So let's start first as me as an artist, how I help people get through their tattoo. First thing I would say to everyone is show up for your tattoo sober, right? Don't come, definitely do not smoke weed. That will make your tattoo hurt 10 times more. Avoid the weed. Avoid any drugs like cocaine or, pills or anything like that, because that'll just make it worse, man. Those drugs, what they do is they take up the receptors in your brain that would normally be being hit by your natural pain relievers. So if you're getting tattooed, you're going to have that initial pain, and your body's going to release natural painkillers for you, right? And then if those receptors are burnt out from, say, smoking weed or doing a line of coke before your session, you're not going to feel those natural painkillers. So your tattoo's just going to fucking hurt the whole time, right? So keep that in mind. Your body has natural pain-killing properties. It will release chemicals into your brain to help you deal with it. So if the more sober your brain is, chemistry-wise, the better it is for you, right? Alcohol, double-edged sword, right? I'd say always show up to your appointment sober. I won't tattoo someone if they show up drunk, right? That said, I will give people medicinal shots of whiskey while they're being tattooed. Not to get drunk, but whiskey or, say, some other spirit, not beer, not wine, but like a strong short liquor will take the edge off getting tattooed. It helps people relax a little bit, right? It helps people deal with the pain a little bit. Now, there'll be a lot of naysayers on this strategy, but man, I've been tattooing a long fucking time. I tattoo a lot of big tattoos. I do a lot of big sessions on people, and I'm telling you it works, right? I don't get people drunk, right? No one's getting off their fucking head. But I know the guys that'll sit, and they'll be like an hour into a 6-hour session. They'll be struggling. They'll be tensing up. They'll be flexing. And offer them whiskey. And they'll be like, yeah, okay. Or sometimes I got to talk them into it and be like, hey, man, just fucking trust me. Have a whiskey. It'll help. And they have this whiskey, just a shot, and they're like, wow, it's such a difference. It just relaxes you, right? It just helps you untense. And that alone can help with the pain. So this is, stuff for you to experiment with as an artist and as a client. See what works for you. Definitely don't get drunk before your session. That's just messy. Nobody likes that. And most tattooers won't go you with a 10-foot pole if you've been drinking a lot before your session. So there's that. Then there's the numbing cream, right? So I'm not a huge fan of numbing cream. I've used it. I have clients that have used it. Numbing cream, it's fine for a small tattoo. If you're like a little girl getting a little freaking bird exploding of a dandelion on your forearm, by all means use some numbing cream, right? It takes like an hour to 2 hours to work, and it lasts about 30 minutes, right? So if you're getting a small tattoo, it can be helpful. As an artist, I find it makes the skin kind of funny. I don't know if there's any actual data as to whether it makes the ink not stay as good or not, but I've used it on myself when I was getting my bodysuit, just to sort of get in the zone sometimes. It's hit and miss. Like I said, it only lasts like 30, 40 minutes. Even if you put it on properly, like exfoliate, 2 layers of cream, hot shower, exfoliate, 2 layers of cream, wrap in plastic for an hour or two, you might get an hour out of it, right? And so if you're getting a big outline done, it's pretty fucking useless, right? If you're doing a specifically shitty area like the back of the knee or at the butt crease or like say in the ribs here or something like that, it could be useful. I mean, experiment with it, see how it goes for you. The problem with numbing cream is that once it wears off, everything comes back on super fucking hard and painful. And the spots that you did where the numbing cream wore off get really tender really fast, right? So I don't think it's a good long-term strategy. And like I said, I did my whole bodysuit in 5 years. So I tried a lot of different things. I don't like getting tattooed any more than the next guy, man. I'm no fucking hero. I sat through it, but it sucks, right? So the things that I found that worked for me were, well, I mean, look, you can if you can get, your doctor to write you a prescription for codeine or oxys or something like that, that can work. But in my experience, you really need to do a lot. A couple of codeines isn't going to make a difference, right? You're better off having a shot of whiskey. The only way that opiates work to relieve pain tattooing, if we're being honest, is you have to do a fucking lot of them, man. You have to put yourself semi-comatose, right? because it doesn't stop the pain. It really doesn't. And constantly taking yourself to the brink of comatose with opiates every time you get tattooed isn't a good long-term strategy. I don't recommend it. So that's not the best way to do it, right? I know some guys that's what they do, and that's fine. Do what you want, right? But I'm just saying there's other ways. The ways that I have found, and I found it quite by accident, was, I don't know if any of you have heard of Wim Hof, the Iceman, right? So I started doing his breathing exercises, right? And started doing cold showers and ice baths. Nothing to do with tattooing, just my own personal thing, right? Because I had a sauna at my house, so I was doing the sauna and the ice bath, and I've never liked cold showers, like really sensitive to that, not into it. So I started doing the breathing exercises, right? I'll run you through the breathing exercises in a minute, but basically it's a breathing exercise you do. It's like rounds. Each round is maybe like 4 minutes. So usually I would do like 3 to 4 rounds of this breathing exercise once a day. And then I was able to withstand getting in the shower for like a minute on cold, right? So I get in on a cold shower, like straight cold, put the warm water on, soap up, do my thing, and then do a minute on the way out. So a minute in, minute out, back ends of the shower, right? So at first it was like, I'd do like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, then I'd build up. And then I could just do as long as I wanted, right? Just do cold showers. And I started doing ice baths. So I just put a bunch of ice in a bathtub, let it sit for maybe an hour until because if the ice is ice, the water's not really cold yet, right? You put ice into a glass of water and you drink it, the water's not cold, it just has ice in it. You need to let the ice melt and to make the water cold. That's what a true cold ice bath is, right? Then I started swimming in my pool in the winter. The winter in Australia, granted, is not like, super cold, but the water was like, 6 degrees Celsius, which is, I think, pretty cold, man. For me, as someone who was never liking cold showers, to be able to go from not being able to handle any cold showers to being able to swim in a pool at 6 degrees, taking ice baths, and having unlimited cold showers was a big jump for me, right? And that's just my experience, right? And so this was all due to this breathing exercise. Now, the way that this is important in pain management is that, getting into a freezing cold ice bath is pain, right? It's pain on your skin. So being able to breathe your way through it and being able to handle it applies to getting tattooed. And the first time I tried this, I've been doing this for a little while, then I got some sessions, I got a session on my arm after being lasered, and it fucking hurt, man, because I'd been lasered like 3 times, then I was getting tattooed over it. It was like our last session, so my arm was pretty tender, and I started doing this breathing exercises while being tattooed, and I had no drugs in my system, no alcohol. I sat through like an extra 2 hours of being tattooed just by doing this breathing exercise and just being able to deal with the pain and not letting the pain overrun me. And so I started thinking, like, this really works, right? Like, this is heavy. So I started experimenting with it on my clients. So my clients that would be struggling, I would sit there and I would teach them the breathing exercise. It's like 10 minutes, right? 3 rounds, 10, 12 minutes. And then they'd be able to sit for another 2-3 hours, easy, without struggling. They would still feel the pain, but now they had a mechanism to deal with it. And the breathing exercise, what it does is it changes the physiology of your body and helps you overcome this pain. I'm not sure I fully understand it myself. I know how to do it, and it works. But you can research it yourself. I'll give you the things to look up, and you can check it out, right? So the breathing exercise is an ancient Eastern breathing exercise. I think it's from Tibet, from the Himalaya kind of area, India, not really sure. It's called Tumo, right? Tumo. So they apparently used to use it for keeping warm in the cold and hiking through the mountains and all this kind of thing. Wim Hof, I don't know if you know him or not, the Iceman, he found this breathing exercise and started using it, and then he started experimenting with swimming in the cold, swimming in the Arctic, climbing Mount Everest, bare-chested, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, bare-chested without any sort of acclimation to the air and the altitude. So he did a lot of amazing things using this breathing exercise. Then he created a program to learn this breathing exercise, and he still does. It's quite incredible. So all the breathing exercise is, and you can look it up on YouTube, there's videos everywhere on how to do this breathing exercise, but I'll give you the quick rundown, right? Because this will change your life. If you do this, If you're getting a bodysuit and you're like, you don't like the pain and you don't want to take the drugs and you don't want to use the creams, I promise you, if you do this, this will make you able to sit and do long sessions and deal with the pain. It did for me. Towards the last sessions of my bodysuit, I wasn't using anything. I was just going in there and I was just dealing with it, and it felt like a challenge and an accomplishment to be able to do these sessions now unaided. And I felt good coming out of them, right? I felt good to be able to deal with the pain, and the pain wasn't touching me. Like, I felt it, but it wasn't hurting me, if you know what I mean, right? So the breathing exercises such as this, right? There's an app. You can use the Wim Hof app, which makes it really easy, but I'll run you through it real quick. It's just, you do big breaths like that. You fill your lungs, empty them, you fill your lungs, empty them. In, out is one cycle. So generally speaking, I would do 30 of those, right? In, out, that's 2, right? So do that. 30 of those big breaths, big in, big out. Don't fully compress yourself at the end. Just try to keep it cyclical, as Wim Hof would say, right? Keep it cyclical, keep it going. Once you've done 30, as you get to the 30th breath, you want to breathe out. And then stop, right? So stop breathing with your lungs empty. Seems counterintuitive, but it's magic. So hold your breath, even though there's no breath in you. Hold your breath with your lungs empty. Try to last a minute, right? You'll be surprised. I can easily do, once I'm in practice, 2.5 to 3 minutes with my lungs empty. But go for a minute. You can time yourself, right? Once you say hit a minute, or you feel like you need to breathe, even if it's 30 or 40 seconds while you're getting used to this, big breath in, right? So your lungs are empty, you're holding your breath, you're like, okay, I need to breathe. Big breath in and hold. And you hold for 15 seconds, right? At 15 seconds, breathe out, and then start the cycle again. 3 to 4 rounds of this. Like I said, with the Wim Hof app, I think you have to pay, whatever, it's worth every penny. It has a whole app that shows you how to do this, tells you when to breathe, tells you when to hold, tells you all this stuff, right? But you can just do it like I said. 30 breaths, in, out is 1 breath. On the 30th, you hold with your lungs empty. When you feel like you need to breathe, you breathe in, you hold for 15 seconds. At 15 seconds, you breathe out, and you start again. So look, 3 rounds of this is perfectly fine to start. You can work your way up to 4, 5, 6, 7. I know people who do 10 rounds a day, right? I don't have the time for that myself, but 3 to 4 rounds a day. You'll be able to take cold showers, you'll be able to take ice baths, and you'll be able to get tattooed, right? Now, it's the mix of the breathing and the cold showers that will acclimate your skin to the pain, and this will be all the difference in the world. You have to trust me on this. And I want you guys, tattooers, to try it with your clients, and clients, people getting tattooed, to try it yourselves. And then I want you to hit me up in the comments and hit me up in the DMs and tell me what you think. I'm just going to check my notes here because there's a few things about this pain thing I want to talk about. Look, you can try mindfulness, meditation kind of stuff as well, but honestly, I think that the breathing technique and the cold showers is the most effective on top of the drugs. And I've tried everything, right? I've put myself in comatose with opiates, and that's great. But man, you feel like shit for a couple days afterwards, and I don't think it's great for the artist to have to deal with you being fucking half out of it, right? If I were to keep getting, I'm done getting tattooed now. If I were to keep getting tattooed, I would definitely be probably doing 5 or 6 of these breathing cycles a day, practicing my cold showers, practicing my ice baths. It's like preparing for, like, say, getting a bodysuit's no small endeavor, right? I mean, you're putting needles onto every inch of your skin of your body, right? It's like you need to train for this, like the Olympics. And this is one of the tools you can train with, right? Getting your body ready for the pain by exposing it to extremes. Sauna is great. If you have a sauna or access to a sauna, doing hot sauna and straight into the cold bath, and then doing the breathing exercises in your spare time beforehand. And now while you're getting tattooed, if you're experiencing pain, you can do the breathing exercise in situ while you're being tattooed. Right? A little bit like, it kind of sounds like hyperventilation, it isn't. And then hold your breath with your lungs empty while you're being tattooed. Changes your physiology. You can watch podcasts about this. You can read books about it. There's a book called Breath can't remember the author's name. He wrote a book also called about diving. I think it's called Deep, Breath and Deep. I'll try to put it in the comments if I find the guy's name. But these books explain a lot of the breathing stuff and what they do and how they operate on the body and how they change the physiology of the body, right? These things really work. So anyways, that's my take on pain, right? It's something that needs to be managed. You can't escape it getting tattooed. If you're getting one little tattoo, doesn't matter. Use cream, take a pill, whatever. But for long-term tattooing, for bodysuits, back pieces, you really need a strategy. Just coming in and winging it. I got guys that, like, I've got a few guys that'll come in to, I only do 4-hour sessions generally, right? And, you know, they want to do the sessions, and, you know, they'll tap out 3 hours in, and they're paying for tattoo time that they're not getting, right? And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to me to cut them short, and for me not to get paid for my day, right? So it's up to you, the client, to try to find strategies to make the pain manageable, right? So if I think of more stuff about this, I'll make another video, but for now, this is my video on pain, right? A couple shots of whiskey during the process helps. Cream can be okay, but the breathing exercises, the cold showers are the best. And stay away from the drugs. Stay away from the weed. If you don't believe me, try it. Try smoking a joint before you go get tattooed, and let me know what you think, all right? So that's it, guys. So just, I think I've hit everything in my notes. That's all for now. Let me know what you think in the comments, and shoot me a DM if you have any questions, okay? And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.